Hey guys.
Hey guys, FYI, the meeting will be recorded. That's why I'm not allowing all your recorders because it will going to be recorded.
Hi guys. So we will wait a couple of minutes so that everybody has enough time to join. I'd say probably at past 3 we will start. So 1 more minute. All right. Past 3. Alex, shall we start or still people in the waiting room joining?
Well, let's wait 1 more minute. People keep joining.
Yeah, it's awesome. We have already around 40 people joining, a lot of interest. That's great.
But I think we can start as we're going to have the recording as well.
Okay, cool. Yeah, hello everyone. Happy to have you all here. Today is the first webinar of this year where we will walk you through the white label solution of Synthflow. So let me share my screen. Okay. And you should see my screen now. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right, cool. Yeah, so the agenda for today is first I will walk you through and demo our white label solution. So you will see step-by-step process of how to onboard, what are the capabilities of our white labeling solution. Second, I will briefly talk about the use cases you can provide for your customers and how you can actually put the AI agents to work so that they do what they are supposed to do, as well as then discussing the roadmap with the features that are currently in the pipeline. And then at the fourth and last step, basically discussing and getting some Q&As. Basically, you have the possibility to ask any questions. We will answer that. But also, we might have a couple of questions to understand how we can enable you guys to be successful agencies with our product. If you have any questions, meanwhile, then you can just drop them into the chat. Alex will collect them, and then after that, we will discuss that. So without further ado, let's start. Let me jump into our agency portal. So when you sign up here in Synthflow, you have this agency tab. And within this agency tab, you can do basically the whole management of your agency, including managing the sub accounts. So obviously you can upload your logo here and you can add some default settings of your sub accounts on how they should see their account once they register. Yeah, so far so good. Let's dive into the sub accounts. Basically, you can see here I have one sub account already created. If you have a bunch of them, you will get a list here where you have an overview whether the status is accepted. That means people are already onboarded, the creation date, how many assistants are created, what's the allocation of the minutes, as well as how many minutes are used, right? If you want, you can just go here into manage sub account, and then you get again stats for that specific sub account that you onboarded, and you can configure that sub account as an invite people, change some settings, adding the pricing tier, and basically the whole configuration can be done within this view here. One important thing is that you can also log in as that sub account, so you can see that view that your sub account users actually have, right? Similar to Go High Level, if you're coming from that tool, there you can also log in as the sub account, and here you can essentially see what the user sees, right? So it's fully white label. There is no branding. This N is the custom logo I added to, and all the traces within the user interface to Synthflow are removed, right? So it's a full white label experience here. Important thing to mention when it comes to white labeling is obviously also one of a highly requested feature that we implemented, having a custom domain, right? And you have the possibility now to add your own domain to really have the white label experience here. So I have added that already. It's basically just setting up the DNS. We guide you through the process here. I don't want to bother you with the process, but in the end, once you added this, you will have like a fully white label solution, not only from the UI side, where it's like completely branded on your agency, but your users can enter the sub account via your domain, right? So I created a subdomain, agency, venture dev, and under the hood, it's fine tuner, it's a Synthflow, but there is no traces. And even if I go into the code and inspect that, we wouldn't see Synthflow traces there, as some people requested us to have that full white label solution. Okay, so far so good. So we created a sub account. We have the custom domain. Now, how are you going to make money? What you can do is to add pricing tiers. So you can set up rebilling for Synthflow pricing plans. And the rebilling works similar to the Twilio rebilling that you have also in Go High Level, where you can create pricing tiers. Let's go through that. And you just name the plan, for example, here, growth. Then you have a description. I'll be very uncreative now. Description. You can allocate some trial minutes that the user can use without paying anything to tease the product. And then you can set the price that you want your users to pay per minute, right? Similar to the Twilio rebilling, you have an internal price that you pay to Synthflow. In this case, it's 15 cents, and you can add your own pricing here, and you see the difference is your margin, right? You can also restrict the number of agents. So you can say my sub account for this growth plan should only have 20 max agents, assistants. And you can also choose which type of assistance it's supposed to use, right? Let me move this here. Okay, so I save this. And then this gets created. Now, what I can do here for my sub account, I can go ahead and enable the pricing tier for my users, right? So I just click here on growth, and then my user basically is able to check out via Stripe those subscription tiers, right? And everything is handled with Stripe Connect. So once you connect your Stripe account, with Synthflow, you will get the payments directly into your Stripe account. So we are not charging that for you and then rebilling that, but it's automatically connected to your Stripe account. Cool. Let me show you here then. So I log in again as the customer. So this is what the customer sees. Obviously, the domain is white labeled here in the case if you provide the link. And then here, those are the subscription tiers, right, for my sub account. And then the user can basically go in and check out here. You probably know this already. It's like basic Stripe, basic Stripe checkout process. I will just use here an example. Also, no real credit card. The customer checks out here. This gets then connected to your Stripe. And then basically once the user consumes minutes, you are charging him and basically you start making money. So that's the whole process for the sub accounts. There's two ways actually. You can also invite users. So what I can do is if you want to onboard a new customer, you have two ways to do that. One is we are just generating a link, right? So I go here and you can get this link here. You copy this link, send it via email, send it via Slack or wherever you, or however you want it. Obviously, this is again branded with your domain. And as a second option, you can also send directly an email, right? Here's the email body. You can specify it. You can specify then the name. This is the user that I want to invite. You send the email. He registers and then is automatically added to your sub account. This is in short our white label feature. I hope you have already some questions. I'm happy to answer that. Otherwise, let's move to the next agenda point. So that was the demo. Second, the use cases. So what we see, and we onboarded more than like 80 agencies from Go High Level, but also from other CRMs and other marketing agencies. And we see what works and what not. We will have a dedicated webinar only specifically on the use cases next week. I hope you all join there as well, because there we will elaborate in detail on how to set up the AI agents to make them work very nicely and generate money. But just to keep it short, there are three best practices. One is try to keep the AI conversation short. Don't try to have a 10 minutes AI customer support conversation. This doesn't work well. It even doesn't work well with like humans. So it will also not work well with AIs at this point. Try to have a really focused, clear goal conversation that is ideally 1-2 minutes that the AI should have. And also prompt engineering matters. You can change the prompt and adjust the prompt within Synthflow, but getting a really good prompt is something you need to play around and iterate. And for that, we will help you. So just reach out to us and we will help you set up the prompt, iterate, because we know what works and what not, because we see that every day in real life of our customers using that. And examples of that are basically, for example, appointment reminders. We see that works very well. You reduce the no-shows because you call people up before the appointment is supposed to be, and then they confirm that they will attend, and we see very good results with that. Other example is lead sign up. So someone is filling out a form within your website. And yeah, usually it takes a couple of hours, 12 hours, maybe a day till that lead gets an answer. Why not giving it a call back and then qualify the lead? We see also that works very well. We see great conversion rates there from our customers that deploy that currently on production, as well as inbound lead qualification, right? Probably you have a number on your dental clinics or any other customers. There is a number, and you know that time kills the deal. If you don't pick up the phone and answer it, he is calling directly the competitor and the lead is gone. So having actually someone 24/7 answering that nicely is really a game changer. And you can do that as well with the inbound agent that we provide. Cool. As I said, there's a lot of details, a lot of nuances, a lot of tips and tricks, and we will have a specific dedicated session next week to walk you through and really set you up with the use cases. On the roadmap, there's a bunch of stuff we are currently working on, but namely, what we will do in the next 2 weeks is that we will improve the voice. I think we are already pretty good, but there is always room for improvement. So the voice will be faster. We will reduce the latency significantly, and it will be even more seamless to talk to the AI by having a better interruption handling. So it really feels like human-like, right? Another feature that is currently in testing, so it's already developed, we are just testing it right now, is the real-time appointment booking. So during the AI call, the human can ask if there is a specific time he can book an appointment. We will check in the Go High Level calendar or Google Calendar if there is availability. If yes, we will tell that to the human confirms, and then we will automatically, during the call, book that appointment slot in the Go High Level calendar or in Google Calendar, depends what you connect. So this will be a very, very interesting feature where we have a lot of interest, and we see that it really works pretty nicely. And you can also convert a lot of people on scale with this. Another thing is Play HT Voices. I don't know if you know this provider. Currently, we have 11 Labs, which is a top-notch voice provider in the market, but we also will integrate Play HT, which has a different conversational style. So the AI is having some more human-like utterances, like, let me check. So it gets even more human-like, not too robotic. Even 11 Labs is top-notch, but there is like a significant improvement in the humanness. As a fourth feature, we will have the transfer call to human functionality. So when the human on the AI call actually wants to talk to a specific person and says that, then we will detect that and route it to a number that you have set up within the Synthflow dashboard. So this is the transfer to human call, highly requested, and we'll also ship that, as well as like data extraction and call summary. So during the call, we will extract certain data points, name, email, intent, interest, role, occupation, whatever you want. You can specify what you want to extract, and then this gets shot over via the webhook to Go High Level, to your API, to your CRM, so you can capture that, put it into a custom variable or wherever you want, and then store that into your CRM, right? This is also something we are working on right now, as well as the custom voicemail drop, right? So right now we are detecting a voicemail and then we hang up because we only want to have the AI conversations with the human. But the next level is we will detect that it's a voicemail, and then we will drop a custom message within that voicemail. And you can obviously configure the voicemail within your Synthflow dashboard. And once the call is taken and we detect that it's actually a voicemail, we will drop that voicemail to the user. And that could be then requesting a callback or other call to actions. And as an 8th point, you will be also able to upload documents to train your AI on proprietary knowledge, on customer support use cases, or like product informations, etc., to also insert some knowledge that the AI doesn't have about your company, about the use case. So it has more information on that. There is much more we are working on. But yeah, this is the focus for the next 2 weeks. Other thing that we are working on in parallel is also going multi-lang. A lot of your people, a lot of our customers are requesting all the languages, like Spanish, Portuguese, Arabic, etc. We are working on that as well, but that will still take some time because we want to make English very nicely working, and then we will move forward. Yeah, let's move to the Q&A. I was quite fast. That's good. More time for you guys to ask questions. I have also one question to you. Like, the whole thing why we're doing this is actually for you guys to make more money, for you guys to be able to have great use cases to provide return on investment for your customers, that it really works. So we are in the same boat. If you are not successful, we are not successful, right? That's why it's very important for us to understand what can we do for you, what can we provide for you that will make you more successful. So please voice that. Please tell us anything, how we can improve or provide you content, etc., to help you to make more sales.
Yes, Kyle, you can go.
Yeah, appreciate
Question.
that. Yeah, can you just I saw you answer this in the chat, like 2 to 3 weeks for the human transfer and routing, stuff like that. Can you just talk about timeline for all of the roadmap?
Right. Yeah, so for all of them, it will take some time. But let me give you an overview of the priority, right? So real-time booking and PlayHT has utmost priority for us right now. PlayHT probably this week we will release that. Real-time booking we will also release this week, but only for a couple of people for the alpha release, not general available for everyone, but rather a small subset of agencies who can try it out, so we can see how that works on real life. Voice improvements, we are working on that since 1 week, very dedicated, and we have some nice things cooking that will really improve the speed as well as the quality of the voice. It's something that is ongoing, obviously, but I think in 1 week we will have like really, really good, significant improvements on that. The call transfer, that's something probably next week we can finish by end of next week. And on the other ones, it's hard for me to give an exact timeline, but everything except the upload knowledge base should be done within the next 2 weeks. That's our aim.
Awesome, thank you. I know I kind of jumped ahead of your actual question there about how to make this good for agencies. So just curious about, what your ideal white label partner is doing to make money themselves, like the top use cases that you can see. You showed there's, I think it was about 3 on that first slide. So what other use cases would you see your ideal partners using your platform for?
Right. Yeah, it really depends also on the vertical. Some are in the real estate, some are in healthcare, etc. Then it gets very nuanced. But what we see is what works the best if you are not doing like cold calling. That works as well on scale. We see that working, the economics work out as well. But what we see performs the best is if you have already a relation to that end customer and you are just calling back or setting a reminder. Or there was one case in a dental clinic where they were suggesting a teeth whitening. That customer was there 2 weeks ago. He knows the number, he knows the dental clinic, the name of it, and then you just call and upsell. Just one specific example, but this is what we see, like not blunt cold calling where you don't have any interaction with that specific end customer, but rather they're kind of already a little bit hot and there is an established relationship, and then you go and try to upsell. Does that make sense? We will go more into detail in the next webinar, but yeah, I hope that was helpful.
Anyone else who wants to take the mic? Meanwhile, Sassun, people keep asking in the comment section about multi-language. What we
Right.
can tell them about that.
Right. Yeah, we hear that a lot, and it's definitely something that has priority. However, there are some synergies. We need to make the system work for English, and then we can easily drop in very fast other languages. But all the interruption handling, the speed, getting everything right on that, it doesn't really matter much on the language. So we rather focus on getting the system right, getting the system good, and then it's just a matter of adding new languages. So again, I would expect after 2 weeks, we start the process of going multi-land.
Thank you. Justin, yes, please.
Hey, how you doing, guys? Appreciate all the work you guys are doing to move this thing forward. So the question I have for you is do you recommend when you're setting up an agent, right now I'm just not feeling confident enough to have, like, let's say if it's my recording of my voice, reaching out on behalf of either myself at scale or whatever, to have the end user or the human on the other end know that it is either me or not me. Does that make any sense? Like should I let them know, at least for now, until the voice gets even better and more tightened and the latency gets better, then I should let them know that, hey, this is a virtual assistant calling you or something along that line? Because I don't ever want to
Right.
dissuade my customers to be, my high ticket customers from letting them know that I'm treating them not as a human. So do you have any recommendations on that?
That's a very, very interesting question. So, look, my ambition is that we are human-like today, and you cannot distinguish between our AI and a human. In fact, today we are not. This is what we strive to, but today we are not. However, what we see that people do very successfully is that they actually say, hey, this is Justin's AI assistant, and they voice that openly for that specific use case if they want to impersonate you, let's say. And then it starts like doing its goal and doing the conversation. And what the feedback was from our agencies and people that have done it is like the customers are quite excited that Justin has deployed an AI that talks similar to him, and they are just like amazed, like, wow, crazy. In what time we live in, and what kind of technology does the alien technology does Justin have that he's calling me with this kind of assistant? So this is kind of the general notion that we get from people that are deploying that in a manner of explicitly saying that this is an AI that's the assistant of Justin, etc. So I guess it really depends, but this is what we heard right now, right? Where it does make sense to explicitly mention that it's an AI of Justin for that specific use case if you clone your voice, and then yeah, basically doing it in that way till we reach the point where there is actually no distinction between you and the AI.
But
Excellent.
this
Go ahead.
also is related to the industry you're servicing, because some people really don't care. At least there have issues solved. We have clients that don't disclose this, and it works all right for them. But thank you very much for the question, Justin.
Thanks, guys.
Eugene, thank you. Eugene, you can go on.
Hey guys, really excited work you're doing. So just to follow up, you said there was like a use case for dentists. I actually work with dental clients. So we'd be excited to see what works currently in that space. But the question, so this transfer to human, I think, in the dental and medical space is very important. And is there a way to set it up so, for example, if the AI assistant gets into trouble, like let's say if they're asking questions and the person is not getting response from AI that they're looking for, at that point say, okay, sorry, I can't understand. Do you want me to transfer to human or something like that? Is there a way to set something up like that?
Yes, totally. That will be part of this feature as well. Yep. So it's
Okay.
either the human says, hey, let me talk to Eugene now, or let me talk to the doctor. Then it will do that. But as well as in the case where the AI says something like, I don't know that information. Do you want me to transfer you to the doctor or whatever? So it will be in both ways, yes.
Okay, great. And just to follow up, and one more thing, are we able to pull some information? So you mentioned the use case where AI assistant is calling to a patient with existing relationship to upsell, let's say, for some kind of a treatment. Is there where is this information being pulled? Because, for example, in the dental space, most of the patient information is in PMS systems, which doesn't have open API. So are we able currently to pull? I'm guessing I'm also a Go high level user. So am I able to pull from certain custom fields in GHL?
Yes, totally. You can do that. Either you use Go high level and you have the data over there. Then you can just, when you create the action, you can select the variables and then you can add that into the prompt. We have also a tutorial with that that walks you through the process. But yeah, you can do that for sure. That's no problem. We have also a REST API where you can do more fancy, sophisticated stuff where you connect it to that third-party tool, etc. But yeah, easiest way would be for you to just use the Go high level app, and then you can just use the variables over there to inject the information.
Okay, no, that's exciting. I'd be happy to jump on some kind of onboarding or setup call to test this out. Thank you so much, guys.
100%.
All right, thank you very much, Eugene. We're going to send you an email and we can talk about that as well. I want to have a follow-up question regarding the REST API from the chat, but meanwhile, please, if you could write in the chat what industry you are part of and what you're interested to have more use case in that industry, please do write in the chat so we are aware. Coming back to the question, Sassun, some of the people are asking if they can use the REST API to integrate with something like a LangChain, for example, and do more fancy stuff there.
Yes, you could do that. It really depends, like what specifically. Happy to elaborate on that, but yeah, you can use that for sure.
Yeah, maybe if I can.
Yeah.
Sassun?
Yes.
Thanks, guys. Great solution. Really, I really love what you're building. So fantastic. Congratulations. The thing for me is I have a software, so I want to integrate your solution with a software. And that's why I'm building this on base. It's LangChain. Most of what I built is LangChain based. And it seems like you're building things like you're doing your own RAG, right? You're doing your own. So you're going more into your strategy is more to go to service and consulting with a UI. And I would just prefer you to go into more, integrating with existing software. So having some kind of a framework to use Synthflow in my AI solution, that would be fantastic. But I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure I've looked enough into your documentation, so I'll be careful. I have to dig in, but
right. So what you can do is just go here into docs at FineTuner. There we have our API reference. You can see everything related to that, like how to make the calls, etc. Let's take it offline. I mean, happy to discuss it on how to integrate that. That sounds quite exciting. And yeah, we're happy to see what you're building and then understand also how we can help you.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Cool. Any other question?
Danny, you raise your hand.
Yes, thank you. I just would like to follow up on what Thierry said. Yes, it's something that would be nice to be able to have like a more tight integration with other software, but the way Synthflow is working right now doesn't, like, you have access to the API and basically that you have to make the work yourself. And it would be nice to have like a Python module or something, a framework to integrate this workflow a bit better. I think it's a great point you raised. So yeah.
Thank you, Danny. Danny's part of the team, so everyone knows. One question from the chat that I think needs answering is, I don't know your name. Your name is just M. His question was, what happens when an outbound call happens and the user doesn't respond to the call and he wants to call back? What happens then?
Right. So right now, since we use Twilio, you need to configure per phone number how it should handle callbacks. What we will allow is that you basically can then route that number to any other number you want to forward it. So you can set up then that once that outbound call that is made is not answered and it get a callback, that it will route to a specific other number, for example, an inbound agent that then takes the number. So you will be able to configure that.
Yes, but you'll need two agents to make that happen.
Yes, or you move it to your personal number. You could also do that. So when the user calls back the outbound number, it will route to your personal number.
Yeah, and also you can send them an SMS with what was the conversation about, or soon you'll leave a voicemail. Yeah, thank you very much. Jerome, please.
Hi everybody. Thanks again for this presentation, very inspiring. I have several questions, but I wish make it short just with one. You were mentioning about reducing the latency to make the ability of, even if not taking consideration that we are talking with an AI bot, how do you see that in terms of roadmap? You're showing lots of things on roadmap, but on this particular point, do you think it's something achievable for this year, for the next one? How do you see that?
So you mean specifically like getting into a state where we cannot distinguish the AI from a human, or where you say like the latency is very good and like 90% you cannot understand? So those are two different thresholds, right? For the latency, getting very fast, so sub 1 second, this is our goal. I don't want to be too bullish here, want to be too optimistic, but I think by next week we will have that. And my devs will kill me probably here in this call, but I think we next week, end of next week, we should have like significant improvements, because it's not like, you know, let's try to understand how we improve it. We are not at that state. We are in the state of, okay, we know exactly what needs to be changed, what needs to be improved in order to get there. So it's just a matter of executing what we want to do. And yeah, I'm optimistic that by end of next week we will have a really good voice, really good interruptions, as well as very fast. Will it be still for people understandable that it's an AI? Probably yes, in most cases, but it will be really good. I think it will be the best voice AI on the phone in the market. I'm not hesitant to say that.
Sure. Currently, what's the average time of answers? You said in the future, short future, you plan to have less than 1 second or 1 second.
Right. I think right now I would need to look into, but it's around like two. Sometimes it really depends what model you use, right? So if you use 11 Labs Turbo and GPT 3.5 Turbo, which is very fast, I think we are scratching 1 second. If you use a GPT-4, which is a more intelligent model, but it's also slower, and then you use 11 Labs standard, which is a little bit more high quality, then we don't achieve the 1 second. Happy for Danny if you want to add your 2 cents, if I'm too bullish on that, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't like to, as I told you, I really don't like to make predictions on this, but from what I'm seeing, like the 1 second threshold is really something you can reach by our reach today, like maybe not today, but like, yeah, in the short future. And like the more we're gonna go through like this pipeline, the better we'll be able to refine basically the data flow, and it's gonna be shorter and shorter, and at one point it won't even matter anymore. We will be able to focus on quality over latency, basically.
Thanks for your answer. Thanks.
Thank you. Bobby V, you can ask your question.
Thank you. This is really exciting. So, quick question. I was trying to test the system, and it looks like A2P registration is required for the AI calls as well. Is that right?
Can you repeat again? What is A2P?
He asked about A2P, why it's required for calls. I answered you, Bobby, in the chat. A2P is compliance only for SMS sending in US. You don't need that for making calls.
Right.
That's right, but I'm getting some error message when A2P is not yet approved, and I'm trying to make the API call from GHL. It's erroring out.
Okay, we can take a look into that. Can you send us a message on intercom, or yeah, probably intercom? We can take a look, but usually A2P is just required, as Alex said, if you want to send SMS. So if you have SMS action enabled within your Synthflow dashboard, then
That's right.
we would require you to have A2P. Please check if
Understand
that's
that, yeah.
enabled. If it's not enabled, then we need to take a look. Yeah.
I understand that. So I was expecting my workflow to fail at that level where sending an SMS to the prospect after the call is complete. I was expecting it to fail at that point, but then looks like the call is even not going through from GHL. So I will send that message.
Cool.
Thank you, Bobby.
Awesome. Thank you.
Keep us in the loop, and we can assist you. Justin, you have one more question?
Yeah, thanks, guys. I have a 2-part question, or kind of 2 separate questions. First one, do you have any use case studies for people using cold email as part of their outbound strategy? And secondly, here in the United States, when also, do you have any recommendations on when making a call, not showing up as what's called spam risk? Sometimes it will show when a phone number is calling that unknown phone number, it will say spam risk as part of that. So do you have any recommendations on that front as well?
Right. Yeah, good question. The first one, the case study for the email, I'm not sure. For the email specifically, we don't have it. For voice, we do have it. We don't have it in a nice format and written down, but it's on our agenda to publish within our blog post also a case study that walks through a successful case of our customers. As to your second part, there's a bunch of stuff you can actually do to not get into the kind of spam detection. It always makes sense to start with a new phone number on Twilio that is not contaminated with outbound calls or a high load of outbound calls. And then there is, similar to emails also, if you do high loads, a warm-up phase that would be nice to have. So you slowly start to scale the cold calling outbound calls. And then there is a bunch of stuff you can do in order to increase the trust of the number by verifying yourself and the number within Twilio, as well as adding a caller ID. That also helps. We can get into that in detail. Just shoot a message. Happy to get into the detail. But it's great that you raised the point, because I think that's also a topic that's worth that we publish some docs or blog posts or how-tos on that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think just real quick, my ultimate goal is, I do cold outbound email as part of my strategy for some of my clients. And I'd like to follow up with like what I call a 1-2 punch, is not only, and then follow up with voice as well. So once I get an interest, once I get a tag in my system, I use GHL as part of that. So I use Instantly, and then I also use GHL. So it kind of triggers via Zapier. I like to trigger outbound calls. So I want to maximize that effort as much as I can.
Right.
So I'm already doing warming up and all that, but I'd love to talk with your team about how to integrate that, maybe offline, a separate call.
Great combination. I like that. Yeah, let's discuss for sure. Happy to.
Excellent. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. One question from the chat that is keep coming. What are plans to adding up other automation platforms like Make and N8N?
Yeah, great question. Definitely something interesting. We have Zapier. Make would be the next natural step for us to do. It's also not that complicated. We will do that. I cannot commit to a timeline, but it's definitely something that is high up on our priority list. N8N, I know them as well. Also very interesting, but no concrete plan on that. We were rather thinking of integrating it into HubSpot directly, similar to the Go High Level app. You can install then the Synthflow HubSpot app. That's rather higher on our agenda right now as N8N, but yeah, happy to discuss. But I hear and see Make seems to be also something people really want. That's good.
Bobby, do you have another question?
No, I'm good.
All right. Let's pick another question from the chat. Ashwiko, sorry for pronouncing your name, asking it, what is the pricing structure for the white label agencies? Let's tackle that.
Right. Let me go to our website. And here you can see it. So those are our plans. And by the way, we added a 7-day free trial on each of those plans. You can just go ahead, sign up, use it for free for 7 days and play around with it, see the capabilities. And yeah, basically the agency plan here has all the features of the whole platform, as well as like unlimited workspaces, sub-accounts, unlimited assistance. And I think what's very valuable is our white glove onboarding. So we will jump into calls with you. We will show you the best practices. We will also hands-on work on your Zapier or Go High Level automation to make that work. And this is all included in the agency plan, where you have the lowest minimum a minute cost with just 15 cents and a 6,000 minutes allocation within that plan that costs 1,400 a month.
Also, one thing to add here, we are working on a pricing structure for higher packages for custom enterprise cases. Let's say if you already know you're gonna surpass 6,000 minutes, just reach out to us. We have a table-based pricing for that. It means after when you cross another tier, let's say 10,000 minutes, 15,000 minutes, the price per minute price will go down, and we'll listen to you, and we can make a custom pricing on that cases if you have a larger volume than that.
One follow-up
Is that-
question.
Is it at the agency level or user level? 6,000 minutes.
It is on the package. So you have the total minutes of 6,000 minutes in total, and you can allocate that to your sub accounts from the pool.
And they don't roll over, right?
Sorry?
They don't roll over to the next month.
They don't roll, no.
Gotcha. So when you say allocate, is it fixed allocation or is it just dynamic? One of the sub accounts needs more minutes, they'll be able to get more minutes.
Yes.
Is it okay? Gotcha. So until 6,000 minutes cumulative are
Yes, and
used.
after 6,000 minutes, it doesn't stop. So you consume more minutes at 50 cents per minute. But if you already know you're going to consume and cross some minutes, some boundaries, then of course, then there is a different pricing logic there. Yeah.
Awesome. And can we track this usage at the sub account level?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. And then one last question, follow-up question on this. So when we create these sub accounts and we are using Twilio right now, and we have the capability to use custom voices, which is a good thing. Can we use the same number for both inbound and outbound calls?
Yes. Right now, not, but we will enable it shortly. So you can use the same number for both.
Okay, I can get a local number for a sub account for my client, and then they can use the same number for both inbound and outbound calls.
Yes.
Right? So, okay, thank you so much.
One follow-up question regarding pricing, and I will let Scott ask his question. Regarding Twilio, how the pricing structured with Twilio, people are asking.
Right. So those are the pricings and that we internally charge. And Twilio, once you bring it, your API keys from your account, then that are additional costs based on your region, your location, what kind of countries you are calling, etc.
Our per minute prices include 11 labs and LLM costs. That's very important.
Yes.
11 labs or PlayHT. Yeah.
One more quick question from the chat. Sorry, Scott. When billing customers, do they have a min and max threshold which will be credited card automatic, or they need to be on a plan only? Right now, they need to be on a plan, from what I know. And
Yes.
if they're on the plan and they consume the minutes from that plan, they will go pay as you go. They will pay for how many minutes they consume. And after that, their credit card is charged daily. So you will not lose money on the sub accounts. Sorry, Scott, for letting you with the hand raised too much. Please, future question.
Yeah, that's fine. So I already have an AI agency. I use another calling AI company right now, which I'm not too happy with, and I'm making the switch over to you guys. So a couple questions in regards to the sub accounts. I already know with the white label. First off, you could white label, you put your name. I didn't see anywhere where you could change colors or if you're able to change the URL. But I have a couple questions here. So are you able to change the URL or is it just the logo on there?
Yeah, totally. You can change the URL. I
Oh,
did
custom
that.
domain. Perfect.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
that here already, right? This is my personal domain, and then I added here this one, the sub account, the subdomain, and then this is what my users see, right? They don't see Synthflow, they don't see anything
Okay.
else.
Yeah, I was thinking I looked up GMT time and it was an hour later than I thought, so I came in a little bit late.
Oh, no worries.
And then as far as the usage, I think you were just covering it. Because obviously I plan on having my client's card on file. I don't really think that I'm going to have it to where they see the portal actually, because I do everything done for you and it's integrated into a fully automated system with text and emails and all that. So am I able to put their card on file? And I think you could hook up your own Stripe account to where when they get rebilled, it gets off of my company's name, not your guys' name, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And as far as the usage too, you were just saying that it will re-up every day, right? I know you were saying you can allocate some minutes to sub accounts, but I wouldn't want to do that. I'd want it to where it's just being billed, like you said, every single day. It could be set up that way. And do you have to set up a new plan for every workplace?
No, so you don't need to set up a new plan for every workspace. You just need to enable what plans that workspace is allowed to.
Okay.
Right? This
Yep.
one thing. And then the other question was, yeah, you can just create here a new tier. You don't give him
price per
3
minute.
trial minutes, and then he can consume as much as he wants, and then he basically pays you like pay as you go the price that you tag him.
Okay, that's perfect. Yeah, I haven't seen that before yet. And then as far as, if we bring our own OpenAI, right, and we bring our own Twilio, which I think you have to do anyway, and then you bring your own 11 Labs because we have a series of clone voices in there. We're paying for our own Twilio costs, right? And we're paying for our own LLM, right, the OpenAI, and then we're also paying for our own 11 Labs if we have that all connected, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Right now,
so we just work that into the cost per minute, obviously. So just for using the platform, it's 15 cents our cost.
yes,
If we,
correct.
yeah.
So LLM 11 Labs is included. So obviously we don't want to charge you double of that. So we'll have to look at your case. But generally we don't recommend to bring your LLM because we have, for example, some models that you choose there are already fine-tuned from our side. Plus we have very favorable partnerships with OpenAI, and we can offer lower costs in general, which is like reflected in the price. So we generally recommend to use us, even the 11 Labs. But if you have a very specific case that you won't have to bring it, then contact us and we can have a look at your case. But it's much more favorable to use that already included. Yeah.
Once more,
Okay.
One thing, we are on the enterprise plan, or we have a special relationship with all of the vendors that guarantees us faster API responses, right? And that's why it's usually better to use our kind of APIs with the vendors than just bring it your own.
So is there a way for me to use your guys' 11 Labs, but send you guys the voice, like if I clone, 10 voices, am I able to send you guys that and use that within my agents?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess that's perfect. I'd rather do that. And then, oh God, what was the other thing? You can't create a workplace via API, right? You have to manually create it.
Right now, yes, but we have a lot of requests where people want to automate the creation process, so that's on our roadmap for sure to do that. Yeah.
yeah, especially for sub-accounts on GHL, people want to automate that. So yeah, we have it on our roadmap. Also, one more question from the chat from Austin. Is it possible to have the Synthflow app with GHL auto login people based on their GHL login? The SEO option for Google login gives an error.
Yes. So you want to automatically log in to Synthflow via your Go High Level account, yes?
Austin, double
Yeah,
B.
so
Yeah.
so essentially what I downloaded the Synthflow app from the marketplace inside of Go High Level.
Right.
And it's all Synthflow branded still. So I don't know how to change that, but when I try to just continue with Google, because that's how I signed up through Synthflow, it gives me an error. But then I set up a test account to see like how it would work with Subaccounts. But it just wants you to sign in to like the Synthflow login. So I don't know if there's something like that we need to connect still with the app or what.
Okay. I would need to take a look into that, but we could kind of do it with SSO on Go High Level, that you can basically log in with your account over there. But I don't know what the error is that you're seeing. So can you reach out to us via intercom, and then I'll have a detailed look into that?
Yeah, I'll send you a message.
Okay.
Let's also tackle the voicemail costs. How we do that?
Yeah, so right now voicemail detection works that we are actually doing the call, we connect to the call, and then we hear the voicemail, and then our system needs to transcribe it. It goes to our LLM. We try to understand that this is actually a voicemail, and that process takes maybe 10 seconds, etc. And what we do is basically we charge for every started minute, and we round that up. So right now you pay for a voicemail, a full, in this case here, 15 cents, because we detect that. This is the current state, but we will change that to reduce the costs of a call where the voicemail is detected to a marginal cost. That will be still need to be developed, but this is also on our roadmap that we charge, let's say, 5 cents if only a voicemail was detected.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yes, we're aware of this. We already heard some customers about this topic. Yeah, as Sassun said, we were working on this.
Thank you. Justin, yes.
Thanks, guys. One last question. So on your agency plan or your white label agency plan for Synthflow, can I sync up? I'm assuming this is the case. Can you sync up like my sub account in GHL with a sub account in the white label?
What do you mean by sync up? What do you want to achieve?
So let's say I have 5 clients in as, Synthflow white label agent, clients. So if I have, but I also have those same 5 clients in GHL. So client A, I can sync up to client A in Synthflow, client B to client B,
Right,
et cetera, et cetera. See what I'm saying?
Right, yeah. No, that's not possible right now. But with the API, where we can create then automatically sub accounts via API, we will also tackle that you can basically sync the sub accounts.
Okay, excellent. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Scott, yes.
Yeah, I don't know if you covered it before either, so sorry if I'm repeating your guys' speech, but as far as booking appointments while you're on the phone call, how far out are you guys on that? Because I could do it on a workaround because you could send a API after the phone call, right? API request after the phone call.
Yeah, so you can already kind of do that with Zapier, also go high level, but you cannot check the availabilities during the call and then confirm if the lead actually wants that.
Yeah, can I bring in the I could bring in variables through API, right? So say I'm sending an API to get a call, I could send variables. So right now what I'm doing is bringing those variables in. I'm first getting the available times from that team calendar,
Right.
and then I could bring it into my prompt, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the way that I'm doing it now with my other provider that I'm using. And then, obviously once they pick the time and they only, you train the AI to only offer available times that are listed there. And then have, GPT in the background going in and seeing what it was and format it correctly, and then send an API request to make the appointment on the calendar.
Yeah, that would work as well. There are some cases where there could be issues. What if the human, the lead wants a slot that is not already injected in the availabilities? What if there are like 2 calls made and then you fetch the available one, but it's already booked by another agent that is trying to book appointments.
Yeah, I mean, you could have something in the background. I mean, I don't have a problem with that because I have my system's like fully automated. So I just put in a workflow. If there's an error when booking that appointment, then it sends a text message and it could rebook through text message, and it would be no problem for me. But
how does it
I
work
just want
for
to make
you?
sure.
Are you happy with the appointment booking of that vendor? I think I know which one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, I actually am, but there's so many different it's not meant for white labeling. It's not meant for agency. It's not meant for managing multiple things. And I like this because you could bring in your clone voices, which is just absolutely out of this world amazing. You know what I mean? So I popped my voice in there. I was like, okay, well, this is great. So now we're actually gonna start putting together a library of clone voices. We're gonna pay some people and have some really good voices to use. But yeah, there's just This is more feature rich. I tested the phone call latency was, I mean, spot on. It was good. You know, I didn't have any issues with that. My only thing was the appointment booking issue, but I could get around that by bringing in those variables, you know, sending it after the API, you know, and then having ChatGPT figure out what time to book for, reformat the time, send an API request to Go High Level to book the appointment directly on the calendar. So there's a little bit of workaround you could do. And then obviously if there's an error, it doesn't book because it's not available anymore, then have it shoot out a text and say, hey, that time wasn't available, and then rebook it via text. But so I guess I was just trying to determine, you know, are you guys pretty far away from having that ability to do it directly on the phone call, or?
Yeah, so it's already there. We are just testing it. We are testing it with different edge cases. We try to like bug that AI somehow. But
yeah, it's all in the I'll tell you what, it's all in the prompting, because I'm the one that actually figured out for that company how to prompt the AI to actually take the appointments.
Right.
It's all in the prompt.
Yep.
So
Yes, that's true.
Yep.
But you would
So,
say
yeah,
there is like marginally benefit of having the real-time booking, right? Because what you are doing, like injecting it into the prompt, that works also for you, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, Scott, maybe we can talk later on this approach on the real-time booking.
Sounds like
Yeah,
Scott
sounds
is
good.
the automation hero, like doing this stuff. That's great.
We want you on our
I
side.
live and breathe automation, man. That's who I am.
That sounds
That's
amazing.
great. And it's great to hear that as of your testing, we are better than the competitor. There's still way to go for us, to be honest. There are like a million things we are working on to make it even better, but it's already encouraging to hear that. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, we are over time actually. I think it was scheduled for 1 hour. Just one thing I want to mention, like, just go ahead, book, not book, just sign up for the free trial. You can cancel it anytime within the 7 days. Play around. If you have any questions, just shoot a message. And we promised also one gift for all the people that attended. And the gift is basically that we give you the most precious thing that we have, and this is our time. So when you have any questions or need help with onboarding, you can schedule a call with us, and we will hop on a call on a meeting and then set you up. That means like doing hand glove onboarding, helping you with the prompt engineering, walking you through the setup process in Go High Level or Zapier, and just really try to make you successful and get you set up. So if you sign up, just shoot us a message in Intercom. We have all your email addresses here. We see that you attended the webinar, and then we get you set up.
Also, always let us know if you have any feedback or what topics you would like to have for the webinars. We'll prepare them and deep dive on those in the next ones.
Yes, thank you very much, guys. We're going to send a recording. We're going to send a recording and the link to book a call with us for their support. And we're going to organize next week a new webinar. We'll announce it on our email. So yeah, see you in a week. And please shoot out in the chat if you have ideas for the next webinar or what you would like to see. That would be really, really helpful. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank
Nice
you.
day.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.